Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hitting the Field. I am your main show host, Dominic Moller, and today we're going to be talking NFL. We got to touch on yesterday's games, and then we're going to be talking a little bit of MLB going into the divisional round. And then third segment is going to be a little bit of a surprise. We like to keep the viewers on their toes, so you're not going to want to miss anything. Stick around, because Hitting the Field starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
And welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we got a big desk today. We got to touch on a few important things. Of course, also rejoining guests to main show, Luca Costa, Tyler Brownrigg, and Jack Hansel. And as you can see on this right side, we'll get right into it. The Bears.
What happened to the Bears, Dom?
They lost a heartbreaker to the Minnesota Vikings because we lost our starting quarterback. Let's be real here, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's be real here.
Terrible. Tyson Pageant was dicing up our defense.
Hey, bro, he comes in and he fumbles right away. I mean, the guy's never played D1 football, Tyson Pageant, our backup. So there's nothing we could really do about it.
Right.
Justin Fields, I hope he's okay. It was just throwing hands, so that's kind of rocky. But, if you guys missed out on Caleb Williams, the joke's on you. The joke's on you.
It is true. Even when the Vikings win, it feels like we're losing. Nothing can ever go the way we want. But you know what? At least we're not like the worst ever.
Let's be real here. I will give you guys some props because you guys won even without Justin Jefferson, who I know Addison had a decent game, and Kirk, but it's against the Bears defense, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. But they didn't look like a complete waste of space when they lost Justin Jefferson. I know, Jack, I want to hear your side, man. This is your Super Bowl here.
Listen, man. Listen. I hate to be this guy, but next game for the Vikings, they're 2-4 right now, is the 49ers. People are like, oh, that's a loss. No.
On Monday Night Football.
Watch out. Yeah, Monday Night Football. Kirk in this prime time. Watch out. McCaffrey's hurt. Trent Williams is on a hobbled ankle.
Debo's hurt.
There is real potential for the Vikings to sneak in a W against. We saw the 49ers play against the Browns. They scored 17 points and.
So do you guys not?
You know
want a good quarterback?
I want the playoffs.
When
Justin Jefferson comes back, we have the 49ers. I think we have the Packers, and then we have the Raiders and some other team. But they are.
Our second half of our schedule is very easy.
We are in the soft spot of our schedule. In this win,
is there?
Let me tell you. 49ers, Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos. That is winnable. Let us beat the 49ers. An injured 49ers team that's on the road next week. Let us beat them.
Well, I'll tell you guys this.
Expose Brock Purdy for the fraud he is.
I'll tell you guys this. You guys just have to get a better secondary. Your guys' secondary, your defense has been decent because you guys are losing games because of turnovers, but that secondary,
honestly,
man,
I was gonna say that.
A couple of those games. Now, I don't want to give too much blame to Kirk. You guys blame Kirk a lot, but he's also passing great. He just can't hold on to the ball. I don't know what it is with that. But you mentioned the 49ers, so we're gonna touch on them. They lost their first game yesterday with an injured CMC. They lost their first game. We'll touch as we go later in this segment. You'll see why I mentioned that. But do you guys think this was just a fluke, or do you think the 49ers are going to start to lose more games? Are they finally exposed for weaknesses? Is this open for anybody?
No, honestly, I genuinely do think the 49ers, they lost on a field goal miss, dude. They didn't lose off of a bad play. They lost on a field goal miss. I think the 49ers are going to – truly, Eagles lost this week too, but, the Eagles can win the rest of the games this year, and I just know, in the NFC Championship, we're going to lose to the 49ers. So, realistically, I do believe the 49ers are the best team in football right now. They have the most complete offense, most complete defense. They have great coaching behind them, and they got a lot of youth and a lot of talent in all the right spots. So, I think this is just one of those weeks. So you can't win them all. You No one's gone perfect since that Dolphins team, and I don't even know how that happened.
And that the Browns are a great defense. Let's be real.
No, they are. No, the Browns are a really good defense. But offensively, I think PJ Walker deserves a little bit of credit. He actually played not a horrible game. I think he did what he needed to do. Obviously, we're not saying PJ Walker's the guy, but he was serviceable today. He did what they asked of him. So.
And you mentioned it before. You think the 49ers are going to start losing now. Jack Tyler, do you guys agree?
I did not say that. I just said the Vikings is another trap game. If you mean fluke, like they won't lose again, or do you mean like losing a bunch more games? They won't lose a bunch more games. They will lose next week. They will lose next week.
The Niners are going to be fine. They did lose Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. Those are 2 All-Pro players, which does hurt, but they got like 5 more on the team. Yes, they are All-Pro players.
Christian McCaffrey is just All-Pro?
He's also an Offensive Player of the Year.
Well, leading into that, this is going to be to you, actually, because we both are chomping at the bit to talk about CMC in a different conversation. Tyler, who do you think is the most valuable player this year so far? We got to talk about it. All these players are kind of talking. We're getting into it, but now Tyler.
And why is it CMC?
The circle of it all. Who's the most valuable player this year?
Apparently, somehow, some way, I'm being told that Patrick Mahomes is not the most valuable player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's currently the betting favorite.
I'll tell you again.
With a 5-1 Kansas City Chiefs team that is tops of the AFC. And let's just go through his numbers. Without a doubt, this is the worst start to Patrick Mahomes' career. And he is 6th in completion percentage, 6th in passing yards, tied for 5th in passing touchdowns with Jared Goff, 9th in passer rating,
tied with
5th
Jared
in
Goff.
QBR, 5 interceptions on the year. That's tied with fellow MVP frontrunner Tua Tagovailoa. His team averages 24.5 points per game. That's a low, but also 9th in the league. Oh, his team also leads the league in dropped passes with 13, and his team is 5th in yards per game. So let's all just relax. The question is not that hard to answer.
It's not.
Patrick Mahomes is, without a doubt, the best player in football. This Kansas City Chiefs team would be a abysmal offense without him.
Wow.
They would
almost
be
like
nothing.
every team with a backup quarterback would be bad. What a shocker.
They have backup receivers on their starting lineup.
I'm looking at your notes, and I don't see the Kansas City defense being the best second defense in football.
Yeah.
They don't allow points.
For the first time in his career. The first time in his career, he has a great
We just acknowledged this is Mahomes' worst start. They have an elite defense.
Wait, real quick.
Weird. Tua, who is averaging the most points per game, has the 25th worst defense.
His receivers are tops in the league in yards after catch.
You know what's crazy?
You guys are talking. You guys are riding quarterbacks a little bit much. Well, Luka, take it away, Luka.
No, take it away. You know what's not so crazy though? You know who else actually had one of those receivers on his team? Patrick Mahomes, and no one said anything then. Also, real quick, Patrick Mahomes.
And he won MVP without him on his team.
Patrick Mahomes had a 77 QBR rating, 98 QBR rating. He had a 127 against the Chicago Bears. Then he had a 66.3 QBR rating against the Jets. A game they should have lost thanks to the refs. But anyway, I'm going to let that slide. He also hasn't been playing great. But besides that, the MVP frontrunner is obviously Christian McCaffrey.
Thank you.
Don't understand how
Take it away.
I don't understand how anyone could argue against this.
Plays running back, irrelevant.
So this guy's stuck in This guy's stuck in 1988 when quarterback was the only position that mattered. But if you actually watch the game of football, you understand that the 49ers team is not the same without Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, despite leaving the game at halftime last week, currently holds the longest active touchdown game streak at 14. 14 consecutive games, that includes the postseason. He has gone 14 games and got a touchdown in 14 games straight.
Golly, I'm loving Luka right now.
He's literally no player ever. He's tied it with Emmitt Smith. You guys know Emmitt Smith, right? You know, like that, Hall of Famer. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So Christian McCaffrey is by far the front-runner MVP, but I'm going to get into my coach in the hot seat real quick if it's okay with you.
Oh, yeah, take it away. We're going to move on to...
No, go ahead.
If you want to insert. Because Tua just is like...
Fun fact about the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. He's
are closer to being the 24th scoring offense than Miami is to being the second scoring offense.
So case closed.
Oh,
so
they're 70-point outlier. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna do this real quick.
Excuse their numbers.
I'm gonna do this so quick. Yeah, you have to go Skevany to get that.
This is Luka's prime time. He's been waiting all day to say this.
I'm ready to play the highlight. Coach in the hot seat is Brandon Staley without a doubt. I know that boy Doug Smithers is crying, rolling over in his grave right now, whether he wants to believe it or not. but it's simply that true. This man has done absolutely nothing but be disappointing for the Chargers, bro. 2-2 record this season. He had a 27-0 lead. 27-0 against Trevor Lawrence. And he threw 4 picks in the first half. He had 4 INTs in the first half. So I honestly don't understand what else you need me to say. That team averages 27.5 points per game. Their opponents allow 26 points per game, and they are giving up 60 yards a game on the penalties. You're seeing it right now. This man, and on top of that, they have a 6'6" absolute freak, dude. Like, this guy is 6'6", mobile, can throw the ball, can sling the ball anywhere, and he's accurate. And on top of that, you have Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. And, bro, on defense, on paper, they are so good. But Brandon Staley has done absolutely nothing but be disappointing time and time and time again.
I actually have to say, I think the coach on the hot seat is actually the Bears coach, because speaking about impressive teams, we can't lie. They're definitely in the hot seat. The Chargers are. But speaking about impressive teams, I think it's impressive how bad the Bears are this year. But Jack, we're gonna go to you, actually, because now leading it into this, you kind of are gonna talk about the most impressive team that Luka already mentioned a little bit, how they were able to come back. But why do you think the Jags have been the most impressive team this year specifically?
I'm not gonna lie. When I read the script, I thought it meant for this week. So
but
that's fine. That's fine. You can
when
still
I
talk.
picked
Yeah.
the Jaguars for this week, it's weird because they got the offense going. The offense has been really bad for Jaguars. It's uncharacteristic for Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. But ETN had 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence had an okay game. But I do like the Colts are good. The Colts are a very competitive team. Even with Minshew, they didn't lose to Minshew.
Colts are good?
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
They're a very
compared to
competitive
what
team.
everybody thought they were going to be like.
Tied
They're
for
very.
second in
Y'all
their
can't see it, but
division.
Yeah.
I'm side-eyeing.
They
Y'all can't
forced
see
3
it
turnovers.
right
Look
now.
at that. Look at
I'm
that.
side-eyeing right
Look at
now.
that.
I'm
In my
side-eyeing
graphic,
right
leads
now.
division. Yes. Win streak 3.
Wow, the Tennessee
That's
Titans,
impressive.
that's a competitive
That's
division.
impressive.
Oh, yeah,
That's
bro.
impressive.
That's a
Tajay
tough team.
Spears and Malik Willis. Yeah, bro. what a
Houston
division.
Texans.
Oh, that's
3-3,
competitive.
500 team.
Come on, dude.
Again.
Stop talking. No way.
Yeah.
That division is not competitive.
I think that was kind of an interesting segment, boys. We're battling it back. I'm surprised we weren't going at it, but that has been it for the first segment of main show. We're gonna go.
Talk that much.
I know. I let you guys take it away. Too much content to not be there for. We'll be right back. We're gonna be going into the MLB playoffs.
So, Tyler Brownrigg. It says in my notes you're an Oklahoma fan.
That is correct.
So, let me ask you, bud. Is Texas back?
All right, I put on a brave face a lot, but this year, I'm really scared that they are, man. Okay, they just beat Alabama. They're gonna be top 4 in the rankings. And last year, they beat us 48-0.
Yeah.
It was humiliating. We're the Oklahoma Sooners. We were the best ever. We were talk of the town. We had Baker, Kyler, and Jalen 3 years in a row. And now, are we good? I don't know. We haven't won a national title since 2000. We're number 18, I think, and nothing matters, dude.
Sometimes we build up these walls thinking they're impenetrable. But sometimes you have to knock these walls down to build up bigger and stronger ones. And you got to be tough through that. It's hard being an Oklahoma fan at this time, but grass is always going to be greener on the other side of the hill, buddy.
Is it? I cannot live through a Texas national championship. I can't. I'll never recover.
Do you want to talk about Lincoln Riley?
What'd you just say to me?
I just want to know if you want to talk about Lincoln Riley.
You listen here, you court-ordered quack. You mentioned that.
Welcome back. I'm also joined by some of Main Show's favorites, Ron Perrietti and Ezra Hines. We're going right into the MLB playoffs. We're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to, you know what, we'll talk, before we get into how much I like the Phillies right now, we're going to talk Rangers and Astros. Now, Jose Altuve, questionable, not stepping on second. Let's just be real here from last night. But the big question is, who do you think are going to win this series? I'm going to go to Ron first, since I've never had you on for the MLB one, because don't worry, we're talking about your pick for this.
I don't think we needed to. I'm still a strong believer that until I see a team beat the Astros in the playoffs, that's not the Red Sox or a COVID season, I think they're still gonna make it. Even though, like what you said though, last night they did do some not Astro stuff, like Altuve not stepping on second. That is not a mistake you usually see the Astros make, right? Like the Astros are pretty good. Verlander only had 4 strikeouts in the 7th inning, so they weren't playing like how they really are. And the Rangers have not lost a playoff game yet. You know, they are like with the Diamondbacks,
there
who
goes
we're
my
gonna,
computer.
who we're gonna talk about later. They were really good, and then they kind of dropped off, and then at the end of the season, they started picking them back up again. And now, like, they look unbeatable. And Jordan Montgomery looked really good last night. So I still think the Astros are gonna win, but the Rangers definitely have enough if the Astros keep playing like this to upset them.
And Ezra, over to you. I personally think the Rangers. I'll go into that. But who do you think? Rangers or Astros?
He said it very, very, very well. Like, until you watch a team able to beat the Astros in the playoffs, you kind of have to go with the Astros. As good as the Rangers are, and as far as I think the Rangers can make it, this Astros team is just too good to beat, in my opinion. They're too stacked all the way through. Starting rotation, bullpen, 1 through 9 doesn't matter. They all perform almost every night, other than obviously last night, but that's a little different. Like y'all said, it was just a kind of a flukish game for the Astros. It didn't look like them.
I don't know if it was a flukish.
Like
Whoa.
Like fluke in the other term, like
The mistakes that they
yes,
made.
Yes.
Okay.
Like it's not normal to see the Astros do something like that. So, as much as I want to bet against the Astros, I think that the Astros will take the series as well.
Well, I'm going to be the guy to bet against them. I think that Jose Altuve, this is why I mentioned it, I think that's an inclination of what is going to happen in the future. I think this is the Astros' year to lose.
I would hope so.
I hope
Been
so
about
too.
time. They've been
Praying
what
on that
3 World
downfall.
Series in a row? 3 World Series.
It
Three-
seems
or
like the
3 out of the last
Rangers
4?
right now in the playoffs are they have all the momentum, and I mean, the Astros are a team that could bounce back. They've been a dominant force in these MLB playoffs and in the MLB as a whole. But I really think it's their time up, and I think that was kind of a sign of things to come yesterday. Now over to a little bit of a more fun series because no one expected them to be there. Diamondbacks and Phillies. I am so happy that the Phillies beat the Braves because when I did MLB on this show,
Who would ever bet on the Braves?
Who would bet on the Braves?
Ezra, we'll go with you. Ezra was like, nah, the Braves. I honestly thought the Orioles were gonna win, so I can't say too much.
The Orioles were winning.
Yeah, I mean, a shot in the dark there. I was hoping. I did not think the Phillies were gonna be this good. Bryce Harper I thought he was washed going into these playoffs, and he is playing absolutely sensational. Ezra, me and you are both on the same side of the Phillies. Do you think that the Phillies got enough to beat the Diamondbacks, or no?
1,000%.
Okay, yeah.
1000%. Like, this Diamondback team is very talented. It's their first time making the playoffs back in a minute. I believe that the Phillies are going to make a return to the World Series. I think it's going to be the same World Series as last year, in my opinion. It's going to be the Astros versus Phillies.
If that's the case, Astros are winning.
I don't know. I think the Phillies look really good this year. Their offense is red hot right now. Like they have so far through the NLDS, they had 275 batting average, 937 OPS. They've had 11 home runs. 3 of those were Bryce Harper's. 2 of those he stared down at Orlando Arcia. As you may remember,
Those
that
are
game was
fire,
very
yeah.
infamous. But it's not only their hitting, their starting rotation has been fantastic. Like Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler are going to give the Diamondbacks problems that they are going to expect. Like Aaron Nola his last outing, he had 5.2 innings pitched. He only gave up 6 hits and 2 runs, and he struck out 9. Zach Wheeler pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, only gave up 2 runs as well. Like they are limiting this. They're limiting this red hot Braves team that they just had to verse. I don't think that I can see them struggle against a team like the Diamondbacks.
I agree 100%.
Well, I agree with you guys, right? The team's better on paper.
But you think the Diamondbacks
I
are going to win?
think the Diamondbacks are going to win because they weren't supposed to be here. The Diamondbacks are not
Neither were
supposed
the
to be here.
Phillies.
The
They're
Phillies
also
were
very
supposed to
deep.
be here because the Phillies got to World Series. They got Trey Turner. They spent money. This was expected for the Phillies in a way, right? Like against the Braves, they weren't the favorite. So against the Braves, you could say the Braves, they shouldn't have beat the Braves. But like now that they're in the Diamondbacks, I think Diamondbacks are not expected to be here. Phillies are. I think Diamondbacks are playing with house money. Now, Phillies are still the favorite, and obviously you got to go to Philly and beat Philadelphia and Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
that's the big thing.
Tough. That's
Philly's
hard.
tough, man.
That's hard.
Philly's tough to play
Atlanta
in.
looked shocked in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
And last year, that stadium was just rocking. But I think, like I said, Diamondbacks come out tonight, win Game 1. I think they set up a good pace for them for the whole series because I think they'll have that kind of like we don't carry momentum, we don't carry energy, which I think plans out a lot of times for teams. But Philly are still the favorite, but I think Diamondbacks are going to go to the World Series.
I don't blame you, honestly. The Diamondbacks are also red hot. They're hitting very well. They're a very deep roster. And all of a sudden, Tommy Pham, I want to get really quickly.
Yeah,
because
take
Tommy
into it,
Pham
yeah.
is an ex-Red Sox player. Where was this? When
He was there after the trade. He was
Where
doing so
was
good
this?
after the trade last year.
Where
But
was this?
They also
'Cause
move
why
on base
are you
really
hitting
good.
4 or 5 in game 1 and then 3 or 5 in game 2? All of a sudden, you're batting third in the lineup for a Diamondbacks team that has Corbin Carroll and Christian Walker in that rotation. No.
Hey, don't
That-
forget
where is that
Gabriel
coming from?
Moreno, the best young
Oh, Gabby
catcher in the
Moreno's
league.
great.
Yes, my
Gabby
Venezuelan
Moreno-
king. I always support my Venezuelan king.
I have a question for you guys, though, actually. Do you think that part of the Phillies' success is playing at home? Do you think that home field advantage is why? Because let's be real here, in most of the games that they're really playing great in, it's all at home. I know home field does have a big advantage, but do you think that them playing in Philadelphia is just building onto their success, making teams get thrown off a little bit by that atmosphere?
Well, I think that stands for most other teams. So I don't think I'm just going to put this on Philly in this case because Philly, obviously, they're great at home. They are fantastic at home. It is terrible for other teams to play at Philly, but I do think they still do perform on the road as well very well. That's the thing that I want to say about that because most other teams do tend to perform better at home. So I'm not going to give the Phillies less credit because they do get it at home.
While I agree with you, yes, like they do great at home, as most teams do, there's something about some stadiums, like you don't want to play the Red Sox at Fenway, you don't want to play the Yankees
Yeah.
at
You
Yankee
don't wanna play
Stadium.
it- you don't
I
wanna
don't
play
think
the
you want
Rangers
to play
Stadium.
the Phillies at Citizens Ballpark.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like, I don't think, like, I'm looking at Diamondbacks, yes, the crowd's going to be, there's a playoff game, but, like, I don't think the Phillies are scared to walk into Arizona and play.
No, not at
No.
all.
I don't think, like, the Rangers weren't scared to walk into Tampa and play. You know, I think it's one of those things that's like, dang, like, you really got to make that trip and you got to play perfect to beat Philadelphia at home,
It's a
which
culture
is
thing.
extremely tough. Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. Even like if we go in football, there's some stadiums you just don't want to go in on a road playoff game.
Yeah, and well, that's well said, and it's a perfect way to end the segment as we are going to be back for segment 3. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but you guys will definitely be joining me again because we're not done with the MLB playoffs. We'll definitely be talking about the next round. So stick around. Segment 3 will be coming right at you. Hello there, everybody. My name is Dominic Moller, and welcome to Hitting the Field Network. Our first show that you're going to see on YouTube is Hitting the Field Main Show, hosted by yours truly on Mondays at noon, where you'll see me with a fresh fade and fresh news. I'll also be talking a little bit of the hottest topics in sports, and we are going to be arguing mainly on there. On Tuesdays at noon, you'll see Isaiah De Anda Delgado and Ty Patton on the Combine, just more of a podcast, laid-back style of a show. And if you're looking for the most creative segment ideas, head on over there on Tuesday. On our off day, don't forget to check out the studio vlogs on Wednesdays. Andrew Montano does a great job of giving a little bit of the behind-the-scenes look into hitting the field. Moving to Thursdays, speaking of Andrew Montana, him, Philip Powell, and Ezra Hines lead the way on HTF Bets. The Bets boys always come dressed to impress, and if you're looking to win some money and catch up on the latest betting lines, that's the show for you. On Fridays, you're going to head over and see Matty Glass and the always wrong Tyler Brownrigg on Nighttime to break down everything about college sports. If you go to UCF or are interested in UCF sports, this is the best place for you. Sorry, Tyler. Our newest show here at Hitting the Field on Saturdays is Girl Talk, hosted by Kirsten Blaylock and Lexi Zolo. The all-female hosted show tackles breaking news all across the sports world and as well reliving the history and current state of your favorite team. Check that show out Saturdays at noon. Again, I am your main show host, Dominic Moller, and if you're enjoying this content, don't be afraid to subscribe to our Hitting the Field YouTube and check out our Instagram. But for now, that's all. I'll see you on main show. Take care. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You know, we've been at the desk a lot today. Well, I think it's time to get mobile here. We're going to be going to the board. Now, as you know, when I go to the board, it's mostly a top 5. You know, we like to do top 5s around here, but I decided to make it a little different this week. We're switching things up. We're going a not top 5 for this week. Now the catch, well, first I got to say hello to all my guests. Thank you guys so much. Ty Patton, you look so energized, Ty Patton. But my producer Camden made this list, and the big catch is I don't know what's on it. This is all going to be a surprise to me. This is going to be my live reaction as much as it's going to be your live reaction. But with that, let's get right into the list. This is the not top 5 HTF style. Camden, I don't know what's on this list, so you viewer are reacting to it with me. 2 for 1, number 5. All right, let's see this. Looks like it's going to be Houston, West Virginia. And like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen. A tip drill. There's no way. Did Houston win that? Yeah. All right, so obviously the not top 5 is West Virginia's defense. I think that anybody that was blind could have caught that ball or just slap it down. There was about 2 people that were there, and this is another Hail Mary play. And here we go, another tip drill. Now, listen, if you're watching this and you play Pop Warner, you're a young football player or whatever, this is what not to do on a Hail Mary. Don't be the prime guy where you just want to get the big spike down. You make the play. What is going on with these Hail Marys that are even going through? This is like a 1% chance. I might as well play the lottery. Clock management, oh man. Now, I actually like the Giants coach, though. I think he's just getting a bad rep this season. But all my Giants fans, tough way to lose yesterday. Let's be real, that was a penalty. But what are you thinking here? I mean, let's be real here. You call it, you get the points on the board to beat a team like the Bills. Obviously not happy, but it's the Giants. They're having a not happy season. 29, surely they don't come back. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope Camden has the Dion faces because that changed completely. It's a shame because Colorado had so much hype going into the season, and now they look like a dumpster fire behind Denny's. They're not looking too well. We got Stanford, who has been playing horrible. They do better at finding what to get for what class they're going to do to pass law school. And now they're over here beating a team that should, honestly, would had the most hype this season. Sorry, Dion, but that was a stinky one to lose. And then anything you could do for number 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Camden knows me too well. That is the only interception Notre Dame has caught all year, by the way. This was like the craziest game when I saw them actually catching interceptions. Because if you remember at the end of the Ohio State game, we dropped 2 easy ones that I could have caught with both hands tied around my back. Caleb Williams did not look too good here. This is a big yikes moment for us Bears fans because it's good that we won, but it's also bad because now that quarterback that was supposed to be great is looking kind of bad. And this is against Notre Dame, who looked, against Louisville last week, they couldn't even tie their shoes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please don't tell me this is, okay. This is the Eagles. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is good. No Bears highlights so far. This is what we like to see. Okay, is that Dallas Goedert? Dallas Goedert, what are you doing, bro? How are you slipping and sliding with the ball like that? Does the ball does it have Vaseline all over it? And then there's Luka's MVP, one of his favorite players in the league, Jalen Hurts, just looking like, yeah, that looks better than Patrick Mahomes, I would have to say. And as Jack would say, that's not a top 5 quarterback right there. Let's be real here. Against the Jets defense is really good this year. Their offense without Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you this. With Aaron Rodgers, this Jet team probably would have been really good, and I thought Aaron Rodgers would have had his relegation and offer. Are you serious right now, Camden? Are you serious right now? Oh, okay, yeah. Who's the funny guy? Cool, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's Tyson Badgett. We get it. And it makes the Vikings look like, I don't even know, the undefeated Dolphins. Like, they looked like the Patriots back then. Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, good high five. You guys are still going to be a top 10 pick. I'm sorry, Jack. But that has been it. I'm glad we ended it on a Bears one because they suck. This has been Hitting the Field Main Show. I've been your host, Dominic Moller. I thank my guests, and I thank everybody that is involved in helping the show to kind of culminate for this show. So thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week with another episode and something new again for segment 3. So you're not going to want to miss it. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.